It is Super Bowl Sunday, everyone. I totally forgot about Super Bowl Sunday because I really don't watch TV. So I just wanted to let you all know that I did forget about Super Bowl Sunday. But nonetheless, we have a special guest today, and I have been so looking forward to speaking with her and getting to know her a little bit better, letting you all get to know her a little bit better. Growing with Hudson, how are you doing? Good to see you. Let me know that you can hear me fine, that my internet is doing okay. Y'all know we off grid. We have to work with what we have. So just let me know that everything is okay on your end and we're not having any buffering or any of that sort of thing going on. So thank you. Thank you. If you are new to the G Tribe community, welcome. I'm so glad that you guys decided to come in today, decided to come to the channel. To all of the new people who have come to the channel, welcome. It is so wonderful to see you guys coming over to support the channel. And I thank you very much. Thank you to my friend Let Farmer 73 for sending a whole bunch of people this way. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Hello, hi D Rich. How you doing? Thank you so much for blessing the channel with the super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. My friend Growing with Hudson, Lady Jamaica, how are you doing? So good to see you guys. If you don't mind, if you would like, if you want to let somebody else see the special guest that we have on here today, go ahead and share this broadcast out. And we are going to get started and get her here. I'm glad people are coming in already because I don't want to delay or prolong your day because y'all know when we get to talking, we start talking and the conversation gets good. There's no telling how long we might be on here. So thank you for letting me know that everything is good on your end. So without further ado, I am going to bring on my new friend. I have been watching her for a couple of years now and have just been absolutely fascinated and enjoying her channel. Have a lot of great information. So let me introduce you to my friend Slow Living Jane, and I'm going to go ahead and bring her up on the screen.
Hi, Hi,
Hello,
everyone.
hello.
Hello.
How are
Nice
you?
to I'm fine. Nice to be here with you guys. I hope the lighting is okay because the only really good spot in my house I could find tonight is in my bedroom because we live in the Netherlands in Europe and our time is 6 hours ahead of you. So it's very late at night here. It's 8 o'clock. So I'm using
Okay.
just light.
Listen, it is fine for me. I know it's fine for everybody else. If I can see you well on my end, I'm sure everybody else can see you well. But thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you coming on just
You're
to have a
welcome.
chat with me. It's
Can you hear me
wonderful. It's
okay?
wonderful. Yeah, I can hear you good. Just make sure
Okay.
that you don't have two devices going because it'll
No.
give us a echo or something like that. So
Mhm.
but
Okay.
okay, so we're good to go. So as Jane said, she is from the Netherlands. And
Mhm.
before we get into our real conversation, I want you to give all of us a little geography lesson because I needed the geography lesson.
Okay.
And I automatically thought that you were from Jamaica.
Yeah.
Just listening to you, I thought you were from Jamaica, and you were like, okay, hold up. First of all, let's get this part straight.
Let me give you a quick rundown. I lived in Michigan for 10 years, and I always had this problem that people, they ask me, where's your accent from? And I say, I'm Dutch. And they were like, you're Dutch, but you're black. And I'm like, yeah, but initially, very long ago, the Dutch were colonizers and they had colonized some islands in the Caribbean. So the Dutch has 6 islands in the Caribbean: St. Martin, Aruba, Curacao. I think you heard of them. And
Mhm.
they, well, very long ago brought slaves from Africa to the Caribbean. And when slavery was abolished in the Caribbean, just like it was in your country in America, we became Dutch. We were given a Dutch passport, and the islands remained Dutch. So we are Dutch citizens. So we can travel between those six islands in the Caribbean, back and forth to the Netherlands in Europe. We're just simply Dutch citizens. Just like you guys in America, African Americans, don't know about your slavery past, where you came from in Africa. We don't know either because the same thing happened to us in the Caribbean. But
Mm,
you're American citizens, and we are Dutch citizens.
you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
So that was so interesting to me
Mhm.
when you corrected me on that, because I was like, here we go with another Jamaican sister. Like I was excited, like
Yeah.
building up my Jamaican sisters and brothers. Like I was
Mhm.
excited, and so now to know that we have a Dutch sister right here in the
Yeah.
gardening community with us.
Yeah, we
Um,
have very
I
complicated histories, all of us.
Yeah,
Very
yes,
complicated.
that we do
Mhm.
absolutely. And so I wanted to talk to you because like I said, I absolutely adore your channel. I can
Thank
just
you.
listen to you talk all day. I can listen to your voice literally all day. It's so calm and it's so
Same to you.
relaxing. It
Mm.
is very, very soothing, and I just absolutely love it. And I think Eco Neighbor, my husband, found
Mhm.
you before I did, and he introduced your channel to me.
Yeah, I
And so,
found him also a long time ago when he was like 100 subscribers. I thought he
wow,
was like so amazing. And then further, I got introduced that you were his wife, so I joined your channel as well. Great guys, love you guys. You know that.
thank you. And he was like, and I remember him talking about you, and he was like, babe, I love this channel. I absolutely love this channel. And he was like, and I think you might like it too. And so when I went over there, I was immediately hooked because I absolutely love your lifestyle. And
Thank
a
you.
lot of us, a lot of us women in America, um, we have a ton of things to do. Okay, we are
Women in
constantly.
general.
I bet.
Yeah,
And there are a whole lot of us who work outside of the home. We don't. When I was growing up, there were still a whole lot of women who were still homemakers,
yeah,
and that was what I saw. Even though at some point my mother went to work, and she had her different jobs and different things to kind of help out and do
mhm,
whatever she had to do, different side hustles, cake making and sewing and making quilts and all of this stuff. And so that's what I became accustomed to over time, was
mhm.
that we as women are no longer in the house. We're no longer just taking care of the kids,
Yeah,
which is a I did it. So I can tell you for absolute certain that it is a full time job in itself. And
yeah,
then adding the additional responsibility of, helping to pay bills and, cars and homes and all of this stuff. It's overwhelming. And so there are a lot of women today who are saying, let me get let me find that softer life again. Let me get back
yeah.
to that point
Back
of
to
slow
me.
living. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
get
And
back to me. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and back to
Well,
us as individuals.
yeah.
Yeah. And
Well,
that's why I wanted to talk to you, because I'm like, you're living it.
mhm,
You're living it. And I know I want you to give us a little bit of your background. I want you to tell us a little bit about, how things were for you earlier. I know you have children.
Mm-hmm.
And and you said on one video that you had also been divorced and you had a tough past in order to get to where you are today. So talk to
Yeah.
us a little bit about that.
Okay. Yeah. Probably the viewers here can go back and watch the videos, but let me just give you a summary of it. Yes, I was married before and we had our own shop and we had our own life, and just like you say, life was just extremely busy raising two girls. And then I got divorced and I took the girls to America and I went back to school, and it was extremely busy because you're alone, you don't have family to fall back on. And I think what happened was after 9/11, I was just tired of America. I thought it was scary. I thought it was like people were just losing their minds. And I thought, you know what, let me go back home. And the choice I made was not to go back to the Caribbean, the Dutch part of the Caribbean, but to go to Europe, the Dutch part, Dutch part in Europe, the Netherlands. And yeah, so I started my life. I'm a scientist. I do research, and it was just so busy. Every time somebody asked me to go do something, I just had to say, I can't, I'm busy. My agenda was always full. My life was just so stressful. And I decided after a few years, look, this is not what I was born to do. I'm done with this. But in the meantime, yes, I met my new husband and we started to build up our new life with his daughter and my girls. We had a combined family, you call it.
Hmm.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So in
Yes, I can
2030,
hear you. You
huh?
froze a little bit. You froze a little
Are
bit,
you
but you're still going, so continue.
okay? So in 2013, I thought, you know what? This is not living. This is not a life. I'm done with this. So not everybody can do this, of course, can is able to walk away from their corporate world and their corporate life. Um, but I was able to do it. But before we did it, we had to make serious choices. You have to, yeah, you have to decide what is more important: a full life, living a full life, or just being stressed out every day. And that's what we decided to do. I left my work and decided to stay home, build a business of my own where I can do what I want to do. And yeah, the gist of slow living is you have to fiercely defend your spare time,
Mm,
because time is the only thing that we have on this planet. You know,
mm,
I mean, at our age, I think you're close to my age, guys. I'm not gonna say how old I am, but at our age, you start to see people around you. You start to lose people around you, and you realize how short life is. You know, and I didn't want to live that kind of life. So, yeah, you have to make choices. You do it less to gain more out of life. So, just in small
mm.
example, say for example, we have five streaming services. You have Netflix, you have Disney, you have Prime Video, Amazon Prime. Why do you need all of those things? Maybe you need one and you can save money on the rest three. Just cut those up. What do you say that in English? Um, those services. Or if you have an expensive car, why do you need an expensive car when you can take the train or the bus? You have to make a choice. What is more important in life? Living a full life, an intentional life, or being stressed every day? That's
Wow.
how I can. That's how I can summarize it. And
Right, right.
because we chose that life, I think we have a lot more. We have a lot more money over to travel more, to do more, to, you know, you have to make choices.
I agree. I agree. One of the things that stood out to me was you were like, how why do you need all of these different streaming services? Why do you need all of this? And that's one thing that myself and some of my G Tribe members were always like sharing different movies and things. And I told them just recently, I was like, y'all, I got rid of everything. I got rid of
Yeah.
all of the stuff. I had the Netflix and the Hulu and the Prime and just a variety of things. And I'm like, okay, I am never using the majority of these. I
No.
really don't have time to sit down and to do these live streams. Like I really don't have time to be watching that stuff anyway. And then by the time you're paying, $20 for this one, $15 for this one, $10 for this
It's a
one,
lot
it's
of
like
money.
I could be taking some of
Capitalism,
that money
I
and doing.
I think capitalism makes you feel like if you're not doing these things, you're being left out or you're less than other people. And you have to come to a point in your life where that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like right now,
Absolutely.
I think we live a very decent life, a little bit above middle class, but we still drive around in a very old clunker car. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You don't have
Mhm.
to have the best of cars to get from point A to point B. You have to have the best of life. That
Ooh.
you can say, for instance, somebody's paying 600 dollars a month to keep a car, and I'm driving around in my little clunker, but I can take that 600 euros or dollars to go for a week to Dubai and spend my time
Mm.
in a nice hotel and build up that experience, that memory. Those are the things what we think about when we think about slow living, you know. Try not to go with the crowd. Try to do what is passionate to you in your life for your family.
Mm. That's so
Live
important.
live the lifestyle that you want to live, not the lifestyle that society tell you should live.
Yes, and they really do make you feel like you are being left out.
Yeah.
And if you're not going to very expensive restaurants and
Mhm.
on I was listening to this one young lady asking for advice whether she should take this $12,000 vacation, and I'm like, yeah, if it were
If you
me, then it wouldn't I wouldn't even think twice about not taking a $12,000
if
vacation.
you can, if
Um,
you can. Yeah.
but if you can, then enjoy that. Enjoy that very
Yeah.
expensive vacation. But the majority of us cannot, and so
And
we
that's
find
okay
ourselves,
too. That's
yeah,
okay too. This is another part of slow living that you should make your home so
mhm,
amazing that you don't have to take a vacation. I remember
mhm,
last year we went to southern France and I just wanted to come home. My
mhm,
house is just like um so comfy. It's my
yeah,
palace, it's my everything. So
mhm,
you should make your home, you should make your life so perfect that you have no need for a vacation. When you come home, you feel rested, you feel at ease, you feel no stress from the world. It's your paradise, it's your castle.
mhm,
That's what slow living is about.
mhm.
I feel so stressed.
And
I
literally,
feel
that's one of the things.
sorry.
No, you can go ahead.
No, I was saying I
Go
feel
ahead.
more stressed when I go on vacation, the packing and the driving or the flying or the airports, than when
Mhm,
I'm at home. That's how
mhm.
you should make your surrounding so calm and so vacationy. You're at home on a vacation every day.
Miss Miranda's grandma says that's how she feels as well. And one of the things that we have always sought to do, and I've told you guys a couple of times, we always want to make our backyard that paradise.
Yeah.
So it
Yes.
wasn't, we never felt like we have to go somewhere every 3 months or every 4 months.
Mhm.
We make our
Exactly.
everyday life where we'll just get up one day and decide that we want to go to the beach for the weekend, and we'll do that.
As
Or
simple as that. As simple as going to the beach for the weekend. That's
yeah,
living the life
yes,
and live it intentionally. Every step you take on the beach, feel your steps, see your steps, hear the water, hold your husband's hand, enjoy the moment, be in the present. Don't think about tomorrow, don't think about yesterday. Be in the present of everything that you do. That's living, not rushing, rushing, rushing. What's
oh my
next?
gosh,
What's next? What's next? Yep.
yes, yes. and
Hi,
and so what
Nikki. I saw Nikki pop up.
and so tell us about, tell some of us, as we are, because we're so, some of us are younger, in our
Mhm.
below 60 years, and we
Yeah.
we still feel like, we have a lot to do, we have a lot of time. Why is it that we should start that slow living journey at a younger age rather than as we get, more seasoned? And there are times where we're naturally going to slow down anyway, just
Yeah.
because that's just a part of aging. So, can you talk a little more to the younger women who are looking for this life? Because there are a ton of them out there who are looking to, they call it their soft life. That's the terminology that they use. They call
Mhm.
it their soft life. So, talk a little bit to the younger women, of how they can also start to do this, even though they may still have employment. They may still be in that time of life where they need to still be there to, a lot of single mothers out here. They want to live their slow life as well. So
Yeah.
talk to them a little bit.
Well, that's quite easy because my oldest daughter, she is just like I'm I'm on her all the time. She's just like that. She's in the corporate world. She gave me two grandchildren. She's busy now refurbishing her house, and every time I speak to her, she's busy, busy, busy. Ma, I'm so busy. Why you didn't call me today? I was so busy. I just forgot to take lunch. She's always busy, so I'm always on her with this. And yes, we need to work. I say this to her. Yes, hon, you need to work. I understand that you're busy, but you need to slow down. Just take one day. I don't care if it's an hour a day. Take one day for yourself. Because my mom always told me, if you're not okay, you cannot be okay for your kids. You cannot be okay for your family. They're all stressed, and that's not the way to live. So, whatever it is that you can find, whether you take an hour to do your nails, or let me tell you something so simple that you can do for yourself. When I wake up every morning, I go downstairs and I have my coffee and I stare into nothingness. And my husband always says, "What are you looking at?" I said, "I'm meditating." Even if it's 10 minutes, you just stare into nothingness and refocus yourself. Um, how do you say? Come back to yourself, listen to yourself think. I do that every day. I call it my meditation. You can find, no matter how busy you are, if you're not taking care of yourself mentally and physically, There is no way that you can be 100% for your family. No way.
Mm,
You might not think that your kids feel it, but they know it. They can feel your stress. They can feel that you're not 100% there for them. Your husband can feel it. And it also affects you as a person. So find some time for self care. Yes, Nikki, self care is so important. Whether you go for a walk through the neighborhood, at night when your kids are sleeping, you put on your sneakers and your hat or whatever, your coat, and you just go through the neighborhood for a walk, put on your headphones, listen to music. Self care, some time for yourself. It's so important. And do it intentionally. That's what I always say. Do it intentionally. Listen to your
mm,
steps as you walk, listen to your breath as you breathe, listen to your heart when you walk, because you can hear the thump,
mm,
thump, thump. Get in the present of the moment. Find some way to enjoy life. And the reason why I say that, and like you say it to the young people. If you follow my channel, I don't know, but last year I lost my sister, my baby sister, and she was also this busy,
mm.
busy
Okay.
person. And I think I'm still grieving, of course, but I think it's such a shame that she worked so hard and was always so busy and doing so much and building her apartments, and it's have to be done by this time, that she didn't live to enjoy any of it. So
Mm,
whenever I say this, people get scared. But in on average, all of us, every one of us that is listening here right now, I can't see how many, but in on average, we all have 26,750 days on this planet.
mm,
26,000 days. That's not a lot. So we have to make every day count. And it's not about working and coming home exhausted and so tired and your chest feels tight. And it's about living. Yes, we have to work. Yes, we have to pay our bills and do the things that somehow we're dragged into do on this planet, pay our mortgage, our car, our electricity. But on the other hand, we have to understand time is so short, so we have to try to live
mm.
a full life. Am I rambling?
I was thinking, no, no, you are doing excellent, and the audience is agreeing with you, and they are, they're loving every moment of it. So, I was thinking back to, um, my children. They're so
Mm,
big, and I am just like, where did the time go?
yeah,
This last, you know, 20, they're 22 to 18, and
yeah.
I am just like, wow. It,
They're
it
just
felt like
born.
little, yeah. It felt like when they were little, like they were never gonna get to be a size where they could buckle their own seatbelts. Like we used to have celebrations because they buckled their own seatbelt. They could get themselves
Mm,
into the car type of thing. And now I'm just like, wow, slow down, life. Like really, just slow
yeah.
down. Um, I don't want to be on the run so much, and you know, and because I still am, because we're building a homestead, because
Mhm,
I still am on the run a lot, and just mostly just in support of my husband, because
mhm,
I'm his driver most of the time. So um, being that he has to travel and different things for work, it's like I just I still find myself still living his schedule in a lot of ways, if that makes sense.
mhm.
And
Yeah,
so,
I understand. So
Yeah, and
that
so
is
now it's
sometimes
like,
the journey. There's nothing wrong with that because we have to build each other up as partners and help each other on that journey. There's nothing wrong with that. But on the other hand, I see you slowing down extremely well in your garden. That's my slow down area as well. That gives me
mm,
peace. It gives me comfort and calm. And I see you doing that as well. So you do take time to slow down. And your thing, which I think is, I want to just shake you sometimes. Your thing is going to buy plants. That's your thing. It relaxes you. It makes you happy. You're passionate about it, you're intentional about it because you know the names of the plants, you know the citruses that you want. That is your slow moment, you
mm,
know? So, yes, you got to live. Yes, you got to lift your husband up and you got to do this journey. It's an amazing journey that you guys are on with the homestead,
yeah,
but you
yeah.
find your moments, you know? You find your moments, and that's important. So
You know
important.
what I love? I love you did a video and you were barefoot and you were walking in the water
Mhm.
on some rocks.
It's called
And I
earthing.
was like, wow. I was just like, I want to do that. I want to be barefoot in that water, just going by. Because typically, we call it here grounding,
Yeah,
and so
grounding.
my grounding would occur in my backyard because we had this nice thick lush grass in our
Mhm.
backyard, and so that's where I would always walk barefoot. So I would ground in my backyard.
Mhm.
But when I saw that water, I was like, oh, it just took me back to the beach. It's always the beach, but
Mhm.
the beach had sand, and I was like,
Doesn't
oh,
matter.
but there's something about,
Grounding is
oh my gosh,
grounding is so important, and you can do it anywhere. Just and you're in Florida, so you're warm. You can do it. I do it here, and I'm cold. It's so important because we were not born with shoes. Gigi,
right?
Gigi tribe. We were not born with shoes. We were born to put our feet on the ground, and we're natural. I think Eco said that a few times. We're so connected with the earth that we don't really realize it anymore because we're so socialized to have on clothes and be in a big city. But when you take your shoes off and put it on the ground, you mightn't feel anything happening to you, but it's happening to you. You're connecting with the earth, with the ground. Any one of you can look it up what grounding is.
Hmm.
um yeah, we need to connect with the earth. There's electricity in the earth. There's electricity in all our atoms and all in throughout our body that
Hmm.
we need to connect with nature. We are nature. Sometimes I think people look at nature as if it's something that we have to go to. We have to go walk in the forest. We have to go out in nature. But we're a part of nature and we forget that. So, grounding, you got to do it. Take your shoes off, put your feet on the ground, connect
Yeah,
with the earth. Yeah.
yeah, and I absolutely love it. And I would take my little nieces and nephews out, and then I would try to put their feet on the ground, and they don't, they're not
Mhm.
accustomed to the prickly of the ground, so they would quickly lift their feet up.
My grandson as well. My grandson, he's 1 year old. When you put his feet on the grass, he's like, "Ugh." But
Yeah,
it's just we unlearned it. We grew up in
yeah,
the Caribbean like that, running around barefoot. But we, as a society, have unlearned that. Even when
yeah,
I walk in my center, what do you call it? You guys call it the mall. I call it the
okay,
center. If I
okay.
take my shoes off in the mall, people look at me like I'm crazy. Like you can't do that. Where's your shoes? While it's something so normal to walk without shoes, I think.
in America, there are signs on stores when you get ready to go into stores. They will tell you no shoes, no shirt, no service. So they will
Yeah.
literally refuse to serve you
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
walk into their store without your shoes. Now, in places like, Panama City and Destin, like we don't have those problems in those types of places because,
Mhm.
everybody's walking around in their swimsuit and swim trunks anyway. So, because they're beach towns, but in most places, they are just like, they don't want you coming into their stores like that. And I get it that a lot of it is probably for liability purposes. If they have something on the
Mhm.
floor, you can get
Yeah.
your foot touched and then you sue them. So it's just like Nikki said, being got to be tired of the rat race at some point,
Yeah.
and you have to take yourself back to. That's why I went to buy herbs the other day. Today I went out again before I came back for this live stream. Went and we were going into Home Depot, and I was just like, I was looking at my husband like, "Where are you going?" Because I'm going to the gardening section. And that's literally, I just make a beeline to anything that's going to give me that inner peace that I love, and flowers
Yeah.
and herbs and plants and vegetables. They do that for me. They
Yeah.
give me that. They give me that little piece of that peace that I
Mhm.
need on a regular basis, and
You
learning
ever
how.
you ever did you ever experience this? I experienced this a lot especially last year because we finally got this big garden. When you smell the dirt, it like
Ooh.
there's something like shoots up in your brain. The wet dirt.
Mhm.
It's it's just like I can't explain that smell. It like
Mhm.
goes in your nose and crawls up in your head. It's so good.
Mhm. Yes,
That's
it's
our
delicious.
connection to that's our connection to nature. And we lost
Absolutely.
that. We lost that.
Yeah.
I think society has made us unlearn that, unlearn
Mhm.
our natural ways. Even I know because I lived in America,
Mhm.
um, it's even frowned upon for a woman to breastfeed her child in public.
Mhm.
Not here in the Netherlands, thank goodness, not in Europe. It's still a natural thing. But I
Mhm.
remember that when you breastfeed your child in public, you have to hide or you have to go in the bathroom or cover it with a blanket. The most natural things
Mhm.
that connect us to natural life, they try to unlearn us of these things. It's sad.
Absolutely.
And we have to fight back as
It is
women.
sad.
Mm, mm,
And as I think as people in general, but particularly we do as women, because we're always expected, to behave a certain way. We're
yeah.
expected to carry ourselves a certain way. We're expected to just, do everything that we're expected to do, and to be loving, and to be tough when we have to, and to be confident, and to be um, at the gym 7 days a week, and we have all of these expectations
Mm,
on us as women, and so that brings me to, let's talk about a little bit about your husband. I don't see your husband often on your channel, but let's talk about with being when you found, well, when your husband found you, when your second husband found you, um, like how was that transition for you? Um, being single for a while and then saying, okay, I am available now to open myself up for love again, or for
mm.
companionship again. Like, how did you transition into that and maintain your soft life?
Ah. Let me see where to start. Well, when I met my husband, I was not yet into slow living. Um, that happened, I think, I would say 5 years after, because I think if you see in my about section, I also got sick. I'm chronically sick with chronic fatigue syndrome and fibromyalgia. So
Okay.
there's not I can't do much. So yeah. When I met my husband, it was like a fluke because, like I say, I'm a researcher, and he thought that he had a certain disease, how do you say, a genetic, how do you say that in English? A genetic problem, and I research genetics, DNA, and so he came to our lab, and I was doing research on his DNA, and he had to come back. So he met me a couple times, and we went on a date, and the rest is history. So that's
Mm,
how I met my second husband. And through the first few years of our life, I got sick. Like I said, I had chronic fatigue syndrome. And because of that, then decided to stop working because I just couldn't keep up with the work. I would go to work and I would come home exhausted and I would be flat on my bed for a few days. So my husband has taken over a lot of our how do you say, things in the home. He does the shopping, he does the cleaning, he does the things that I cannot do. So I'm blessed
mhm,
to have him in that sense. And because of my illness, I decided I need to slow down. I can't do this anymore. So that's how I got into slow living, intentional living. I'm going to do what I need to do for my own body. I'm not going to have my calendar full. If you call me to go out for lunch and Anne call me for coffee and Bobby call me for a birthday party next week, I am going to decide what's in my calendar. The world is not going to decide for me what my life is going to look like. So my calendar, my life is mine. So that's how
mm,
basically I got into slow living, that I had to protect my own energy. I had to protect my own time. I had to fiercely protect my own time. And
mm,
that's the reason I got into slow living. Like, you have to learn to say no. I had to learn. It's difficult. It is difficult to tell a family member that you love, no, I can't. I cannot come to your birthday party. I cannot go have coffee with you. Learning to say no is the most difficult thing anybody can do. But saying no protects you. You have to learn not to feel guilty about saying no. You have to understand you're saying no to protect yourself. You have to explain to the person, I'm not saying no because I'm hurting you. I don't want to spend time with you. This is me protecting me. So that's how I basically got into the slow living lifestyle, protecting myself.
and I think you're so kind. You're so kind because you actually give an explanation. What I had to learn was that no is a complete sentence for me,
Yeah. Yeah.
and and it, yeah, it took me a little bit to really get to the point, but I think I started it so early in life because I did realize how how I could not pour something that I don't have from me.
Yeah.
I can't give you what I don't have. And I learned it at a young age because I am a giver. And,
Yeah.
people are always like, I always have to keep my phone on silent. I literally just have to keep it on silent
Yeah.
because there's always something happening. There's something going on. somebody that needs something. And most of the time, it's just some sort of encouragement, or sometimes it's, well, hey, I need to go here, I need to go there. Are you available? Can you take me? You know, all types of things. And so I had to learn early how to say no, I cannot.
You feel so
And
stretched. Yeah.
you because you do feel so stretched. And so
Mhm.
in the beginning, yeah, it was a challenge to say no and then allow that to be my complete sentence. And
Yeah.
now it's like, nope, can't do it. I can get with you another day. I can give you an alternative if you want it. If you don't, then have a great day. you know,
Yeah.
um, you have to grow to that point. You have to really do it time and time again before you can really feel comfortable with just letting no be your complete sentence.
I
So,
still
you
find it difficult though. I've been doing it for years, but I still find it difficult to say
okay,
no. I say no. That's not
okay,
the issue, but it still breaks my heart a little bit to say no to someone. Don't you have that? I think I
because
don't know if it's a
no,
mother thing or nurturing thing. I still have a little difficulty with it.
no, not anymore. I really don't. Because I think because I know me and I know that if I have to say no to you, it's for a valid reason
Yeah.
or it's for a self care reason. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Mm.
if I don't want to answer my phone, then I just don't. Um, it doesn't, I tell people often, it doesn't matter what time of the day or night you text me because I'm only going to respond when I'm full enough to.
Yeah.
I'm only going to give energy to what I can easily give energy to.
Mm.
So for me, it's not so hard because I do realize that self care is an absolute. When I got ready to go
Yeah.
out on my self care day just this past week, my last live stream, I was talking about it. Um, my husband was like, "Man, I wish I could go," and I'm like, "Oh no, this day is for me. I need this. I need this day." So you have to know yourself, and you have to
Yeah.
know that if if you're not energized enough, then you saying no is for your personal benefit. And
Yeah.
if you give in to that, and if you decide that you're not going to listen to what your body needs, listen to what yourself needs, what your spirit needs, then you're going to do
Mhm.
yourself a disservice in the long run.
Yeah.
So I think that's why it's not so hard for me anymore. So, and that's why I say you're so sweet. You feel you
I
feel some
still
type
have
of way.
difficulty with it. You're strong, especially saying no to my daughters. I have a lot of difficulty, but you have to. You have to.
Yeah,
We're so stretched,
yeah,
Gigi. Seriously. I mean,
yeah.
there's the dishes and the groceries and the washing up and the um, cleaning up and the dusting and making sure your husband is satisfied physically,
Hmm.
sexually, with a full tummy and your grandchildren and name it. We have so much on our mind that we're really stretched. And I think it's time to stop that. I mean, you can't stop all of it, but you can stop
Hmm.
stretching yourself too much. Like we just talked about, learning to say no, learning to take time for yourself, me time, self care time. Women have come a long way and we have to
Hmm.
fight for ourselves. Really,
Yeah,
fight for ourselves, fight for our mental health, our physical health, our. Uh, it's difficult.
it
Women have
is.
it difficult. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. We do. But I tell you what, I still wouldn't want the role of a man.
Yeah, I mean they're doing a lot too, you know, the good men, they're doing a lot too. They're doing a lot
Yeah.
to provide for their family and protect us, and yeah, they also have their roles.
Yeah.
Are you a
Yeah,
feminist?
we were out here. My little one. Yeah, my little one. She was out here, and this was she saw the tractor, and she just
Mm,
kept getting up on the tractor, and so me and him were looking at each other like, oh, here we go. Like she is gonna want to drive this tractor. And so she was like, Mom, can you give me a tutorial? And I was like, Babe, your dad is the man for that. Like he's the one. I knew how
mm,
to drive it before it left, but
yeah,
then once it was gone for a couple of months and I didn't drive it, then I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna have to get him to give me a tutorial too on
hmm,
this thing. So yeah, they are so important to when you
absolutely.
have a peaceful man, when you have
Yeah,
a peaceful man who is on your same team, who is on your
mhm,
side, who is looking out for your best interest and willing to take on all of the heavy lifting, I call it. Take
yes,
on all of
absolutely.
that. It makes a world
Thank,
of difference. And
thank goodness for those kind of men. Absolutely.
yeah, and
Absolutely.
and that's why I was asking you, how did you transition? Because
Yeah.
um,
It was
life can be
easy. I mean,
different.
it was easy. I mean, I'm sure, I'm 100% sure not everybody has this, had this, and I'm 100% sure a lot of stepdads are horrible people, but there are really good men out there. Because my husband now took my daughters, and I took his daughter, and we're just a wonderful family. Things that I don't want to deal with, like telling them about their taxes and helping them with their taxes every year. He does that. And I do other things like organizing breakfasts and dinners. We're just an amazing family. So,
Hmm.
yeah, lucky that you choose the right person because a lot of people don't. But you just got to make it work. You never know if it will, but it's hard work and you got to make it work. Blended families.
I agree. Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's,
and the
it's
that in itself, the blended family in itself is a challenge.
mhm. Yeah,
I don't have that for myself, but you know, most of the women uh around me, they have blended families. And
yeah,
so just going with them through their journeys of what it
yeah,
was like to work toward getting back to that softer side of things, because they're
mhm,
constantly having to be in some sort of battle because of the child's mother,
mhm,
or whatever, having to be in some sort
yeah,
of battle. It's like it was a journey in itself, I believe, I know for a fact for a lot of my friends, because we talk very personally and very openly about that. And those were actually, my best friend was like, you know, giving me lessons to give to my daughters,
yeah,
from the perspective of being in a blended
yeah,
family herself. And so
yeah.
she would give me things and say, okay, you need to talk to the girls about this and tell the girls this, just give different things. Go ahead, Jane. I saw you wanted to say something.
No, I just think when you're at the point that you're going into a blended family, you're kind of more mature because you've been through some shit. Sorry for the word, guys. So you kind of know what you're looking for. You have your standards now. You have things that you do absolutely do not want. And me
Mm.
having girls, you need to be so careful who you bring into your life. Because,
Oh my
yeah,
God.
my dad died when I was 4, and my little sister was 2, my older sister was 6. And my mom never remarried because she always say, there's nobody going to come in her house to trouble her girls, you know?
Hmm.
So we grew up with my mom alone. And that always stuck in my head. You have girls. Who you bringing into your family? So
Hmm.
when you're at a point where it's a blended family, it's because you already had a relationship and You're coming out of a relationship, you're more mature, you're more experienced, and you know what you want. And you're going to be careful and you're going to choose correctly, you hope. You know, we all hope that. I mean, I know people married for 50 years and still divorced from the same person, you
Mm,
know? So you don't know.
mm-hmm.
We don't know what we're getting, but we can be very careful and pragmatic and mature in our choices. So I think, yeah, you have to
Yeah.
have,
I mean,
as a woman, you have to have choices. You cannot
right.
let, you cannot just go with the flow. You have to be smart, make choices, make the correct choices. Um, That's a whole other story. That's a whole other video to talk about making choices in life, because while you're busy planning for life, life happens to you, you know? So
It
that's a
does.
whole
It
other
does.
story. Right.
Yeah, life absolutely happens, and I think one of the things that a lot of younger people don't realize is that change is going to happen to you. It
Mm-hmm.
does not matter who you are. Change is inevitable. It is going to happen to you.
Yeah.
Um, Changes as and I think this is the balancing act that has to happen when you are in relationships and you're still trying to maintain your own individual peace so that you can be at peace with that other individual as well.
Yeah.
Um, as we grow older, guess what? I change, my husband change,
Absolutely.
what each of us like, it changes. So you're going to go through that. Like that's
Yeah.
just going to happen. And then you have to find a way within the changes that happens to you individually to still know how to communicate effectively with that person that you're in a relationship with. Because
Mm-hmm.
there's some stuff that I used to do when I was younger, when I was, freshly married. There was some stuff that I used to do that now I'm just like, no, it's not going to happen. It's not going to
Yeah.
happen. We can't do the whole bunny rabbit thing anymore. Like every 3, 4 times a day. Like there's just so much stuff that
Yeah.
changes as you grow, as you mature. Um, People often talk about how women change, and women as you get older, you're going to be moody, you're going to be this, you're going to be that, but men have their
Mm-hmm.
stuff too. They go through their thing too. They go through their um, testosterone changing, like all types of
Absolute.
stuff happen. And then you start to see them, get in touch with their emotional side where they will
Yeah.
grab the kids and just hug the kids a little bit longer rather
Mm.
than be like, okay, let's go outside and play basketball. Sometimes they also get to the point where they want to sit and they want to talk and they want to have conversations. They just want to sit up under the tree and have a cold drink. You know, um, I've been watching your glass of wine and I'm just like, man, I should have had a glass.
Go
I
get
should
one.
have had,
Go get one.
but
I always say,
but
you should always, when you're relaxing and talking with somebody, have a nice glass of wine or a cup of tea or a nice coffee. Why not?
yes, yes,
But
preferably
you're
a glass
right.
of wine.
The same thing that happens to women happens to men. I mean, I swear, 2 times a day, I just want to knock my husband out because he's always doing some crazy nonsense. Like, dude, how are you still alive? You know? I tell him this so much. How are you still alive? But on the other hand, he's so needed and so there for me and for the family and such a patriarch, like you say, he takes the reins. But we as women, we're so logical. Men are not logical, and we're like,
Mhm.
dude, how are you still alive? Why are you doing that?
Yeah.
You're gonna fall, like trying to cut the trees on this small little ladder, you know? Trust me, I know what you're talking about. I've seen some videos with Eco trying to cut these trees and start these fires, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing? So I know they're just so ridiculous, man. But yeah, we all change, and we have to work together to accept that change in our relationships and grow with it. Or it pisses us off some days, we get pissed off with them. But yeah, it's funny. Relationships are funny.
They
I don't know.
are. They are. And so and um it's an important thing to think about because we have so much um talk today about a lot of women not wanting to get married and a lot of men not wanting to get married also because they can't seem to come to an understanding. They can't seem to come to a middle ground where
Hmm.
you're going to have that you're going to have this male presence and you're going to have this female presence. They can't seem to come to a middle ground to say that guess what? We can both live this life. We can both live this slower life. You know, when you're younger, you probably like, nah, I don't want that slow stuff. But as you grow and as you mature and as you get kids, my daughter just had a baby not long ago, and so I was telling her just slow down, just
Yeah.
take your time and just be in the moment and just enjoy the baby.
I
Okay,
enjoy. Yes.
yeah, just be in the moment and just enjoy the baby. And with your man, you got to make sure that you're both together and that you're including him as well. You got to
Yeah.
make sure that you all are on the same page, that
Yeah.
you're understanding that when you are in this life together, and particularly when you made a life together, like you're bonded together. And so
Hmm.
you have to make sure that you have that open communication with that partner so that you can still as a woman so that you can still have that time, that extra time that you need
Hmm.
to be able to slow down. And I love the fact that you said that you have to be intentional. You have to be
Intentionally. Yeah.
intentional
Yeah.
about your slowdown, about what it is that the type of lifestyle that you want to live. And
Yeah.
so you start to when you get to that point where you determine that you have had enough, you've had enough of the running all over the place. You do have to be intentional and say, "Hey, I'm going to make sure that today is my day
Yeah.
where I do something that is good for me."
Yeah.
And and literally it's as simple as that. And I love the fact that you were talking about um even in a moment
Hmm.
you can have your peaceful space. You can have
Yeah.
that peacefulness. You can have that mindfulness even in a moment just sitting in your kitchen.
Yeah.
You can have
Absolutely.
that mindfulness.
Yeah.
I was
You.
I was reading this article. It was
I.
talking about children, and they were doing transcendental meditation with the children,
Hmm.
and it was basically to ground them and to center them before they started to learn.
Yeah.
And I think for us, and that sounded to me like exactly like what you were saying. Like you were
Yeah.
in this space and you were just getting grounded so that you could go throughout your day. What is life
Yeah.
like, when you have when you have fibromyalgia. I know a couple of people in the chat said something about they are on that journey as well, and they have fibromyalgia. So how often are you able to video? How often are you able to do the things that we see of you, um, being that you do suffer with fibromyalgia?
Yeah, it's painful. The pain, you cannot explain it to anyone. Um, I don't know if you know do you know what's paracetamol?
Mm-mm, no.
Paracetamol. It's a pain medication that you can just buy over the counter.
Mm-mm.
There's like 400 milligrams, 500, I think 4 times 1,000 milligrams. So 4,000 milligrams a day to stop the pain, and it doesn't go away. It feels like somebody took a bat and beat you all over your body. Painful. But
Wow.
there's nothing you can do about it. There's no cure for it. There's um, nothing that you can do about it. But with my videotaping, I do it as I can. So, you also do vlogs that you do a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here, and then you put it together. So, I
Hmm.
mean, you see a vlog and you think, whoa, that's nice. But you don't know how long it took me to do that vlog. So, yeah, you do what you can. And it's a chronic thing. I've had it since 2012, so a good bit of years. So I have learned how to manage my energy, how to manage my time, how to manage my pain. And yeah, we just move on because, yeah, paracetamol is Tylenol, right? But,
That's our pharmacist. Veggie Farm
yeah,
is a pharmacist, so she
yeah.
she knows
S-
medication.
So you you cannot let life stop you. You
Nope.
know, you're here to live life, and no matter what. Like, I was thinking recently about that guy in South Africa that lost his 2 legs and he was running on these blades. They call him the
Mm.
Blade Runner. I'm
Hmm.
thinking, if he can do that, what's stopping all of us from doing what we have to do or want to do, So
Wow.
nothing's gonna stop me from living. I get up every day, I do my stuff, I we enjoy our life. I I'm happy. I live a slow life and I'm happy. I live a slow life because I was forced to, and I have no choice but to slow down. But it's such a great life. And I want to share that with the world, that grab every moment of every day and savor it. Even when you sip your coffee, taste your coffee, you know. You bite a pizza, taste the flavors, you know. What
Mm.
did I just spend my money on? I spent my money on a pizza, but did I gobble it down or did I enjoy every bite? You know, you have to enjoy every moment of your life because it's our life. I don't know how else to explain it. Smell the
Wow.
flowers.
Oh
Go
yeah.
out in your yard or on your way from work. Like if you're walking from your office to your car and you see a wildflower, pick it and put it in a
Mm.
vase when you go home. Put it in a vase in your kitchen and enjoy that flower. Find ways to enjoy the beauty around us. Because why else are we alive? Why?
Mm.
Pick your
Oh
moments.
wow. Mm.
Pick your moments.
You making me have some you're making me have a little allergy moments here because that's so important. That's so important.
It is.
That's powerful. Yeah, be rich.
Yeah.
That is absolutely powerful. And one of the things that I said that I wanted to do around here this year for the homestead is that I want to plant more flowers.
Yeah.
because my husband is normally that guy. He's normally the one who plants all the bulbs, all the flowers, and he knows how to lay it out and make it look beautiful and all of that stuff. And then there's me, who I am just like,
Plants,
yeah, let's get
food.
some vegetables growing.
Yeah.
Let's get trees, some fruit trees.
Yeah.
Let's get all of that stuff going. And so we can balance each other that way by both of us having our something that we're good at. It
Mm-hmm.
helps us to really to balance each other out.
Yeah.
But he often says, "All right, you stepping over in my territory, you stepping in my yard now." And I'm just like, this year I am stepping in his yard. He doesn't even know how many flowers
Mm.
I have ordered. People have sent me different flowers, and so I am looking to get more of that because I need the color. Like, there's plenty of green around here, there's
Yeah.
plenty of brown around here, but I need that color. And
Yeah.
I'm just prior before, it's like I was okay with not planting any flowers, but when I started to buy things this year and buy seeds and different things, I was like, I have to see this color. I have to bring color out here because to
Yeah.
me it feels like I'm bringing some life out here. And
Even
so
the
it
weeds,
it
even the weeds that come up early spring, that those flowers are so beautiful, you know. Even the weeds are
yeah,
beautiful.
they absolutely are. And over next to my collards, I have been very, very relaxed with allowing things to grow out here because I need to know um, like what I need to add to make it better for my vegetables to grow. And so when we first came out here, I was like, oh my gosh, there's a lot of sand. There's a whole lot of sand out here. And it is still it rained and it rained and it rained. And when you walk outside right now, you can tell that it rained, but because we have a sandy soil content, it's like
Mhm.
you better give those plants something to drink because
Yeah.
it soaks in very, very quickly in this soil. But one thing that I also noticed is that I don't have to fertilize as much out here.
Yeah.
And I started to see some things happening with my collards, and I was like, wait a minute, that is like too much fertilizer because I was fertilizing maybe twice a month or something like
Oh.
that. I was only fertilizing twice a month, but that was still too much because the soil is so rich out here.
Mm. Yeah.
So having a conversation with a couple of the farmers, I was just like, in the beginning, I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be hard. This is going to be something that I've never dealt with because I'm used to growing in red Georgia clay. That's what I grew
Mm.
up growing in, and that's what I was accustomed growing in. Even back at the home, where that we sold last year, I was used to growing in that, but we just did what we had to do in order to bring a lot more nutrient into that soil. So
Yeah.
now, Yankee Sister Homestead, I don't know if you are familiar with her, but
No, I'm gonna look at her channel later.
Yankee Sister, if you could enter hashtag G Tribe so that your channel will drop here. And anybody else who wants to share out their channel, please enter hashtag G Tribe so that people can find your channel. But Yankee Sister Homestead has the most beautiful flower gardens. Oh
Okay.
my gosh.
I can't
They
wait
are
to see it.
they are breathtaking. So once you see, I'm
Can
gonna
I
put her
ask?
video.
Can I ask why did you guys um cover up the citrus the other day because it was windy? Why do you always have to cover up the citrus when it's windy?
No, we didn't. Not recently. It there were some clear bags that were still on some of the citrus trees just because No, we didn't cover it recently, unless Eco Neighbor did it, but I don't think so. I didn't see any covers out there when I went out there. He
I
was just
thought
he was.
just a few vlogs ago you had this garbage bag and you were covering up the citrus because
Oh yeah,
it
because
was
it was freezing.
windy.
It was
Because what?
freezing. It was
Oh, it
freezing
was
cold.
freezing.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
In our area, it got down to like 16 degrees,
Oh,
and
okay.
our citrus has taken a big hit because of that cold. We're not used to having that type of cold here in
Okay.
our area. So we had to do the covers just to try to save the citrus trees because
Protect them. Okay.
even though
I
they
thought it was
the
because it
kind
was windy, and I was wondering why would you do that because it's windy, but it
oh
was
no,
freezing.
no. Yeah, it was so cold. The wind
Okay.
in this area, the wind
Okay.
will start to blow in the cold from the north. And when it starts to blow here, the wind starts to really blow. And when it
Okay.
does that, you know that it's going to, unless it's like the middle of the summer and it's doing that, because we might be having a hurricane or something on the way, or a
Hmm.
tropical storm. Otherwise, if it's in the fall or the winter time, you know that it's about to get really very, very cold.
Okay.
Um, and we don't have that often. Like the last, oh, we could just throw an extra sheet over the citrus trees and they would be fine
Mhm.
because our only goal is just to keep the ice off of them, to
Yeah.
just especially when it's going to be raining and then it's going to be cold at the same time. We're just trying
Mhm.
to keep the ice off of them from just totally annihilating our trees.
Yeah,
And we
that's
won't have
important.
any of them till
Yeah, I was wondering why. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why, just because it was really very very cold during that time, and the citrus trees, they just can't take um days and days and days of that. It's like if that happens and then our temperature goes back up, we're fine, we're good. But because we had like a week long stint of that.
Okay.
Another thing, this is our first time, like we've been through the summertime in the RV, but
Mm.
now we're in the winter with the RV and we're having totally different experiences. So when it was very, very cold like that, this thing is not insulated, okay? And
Yeah.
so you always see like the water. There's
Moisture.
always
Yeah.
water. You're constantly having to wipe down the
Yeah.
condensation because there's like no insulation to help us out. And so I had to remove this entire bench and clean because when it gets wet, it gets moldy.
Yeah. I did a vlog on that. I'm sure you saw that. That we're so economizing on our energy here in Europe because of the Russia problem that we were also getting damp and mold, and it's horrible. Yeah.
Yeah, yes, yes. So there's a lot to learn out here. Um, but I was just like, I have got to get these flowers out here because I gotta bring this color. I gotta make it feel like home again. I gotta
Mm.
make it feel like,
Exactly.
where
Yeah.
we left because we had all the banana trees and the palm trees and the shampoo ginger lily all over the place, and everything was just looking so nice and tropical, which is how we
Mhm.
like it. And so we're working to create that same type of environment out here. And yes, and G Mama says, and the flowers bring in the pollinators. Yes, we
Amen.
absolutely need that. We
Absolutely.
need that.
Yeah.
We need
Love
that.
to see those bees in the garden.
Yes, yes. And my husband was actually saying, he was like, "Oh yeah, we have a lot of bees. We do have a lot of bees, but we also like to bring in um, the hummingbirds. Like since we've been out here, I've only seen like one hummingbird.
Oh,
Um, we have the woodpeckers, and they're so pretty. If you've never seen a woodpecker, Like
Mm.
you get to see so much stuff when you're out in nature in a natural environment that is not full of chemicals and all of
Yeah.
that type of stuff. You get to see so much, and it makes
I thought
just
it was so scary that time when you were in the truck and you were hearing the wolf in the back. Or was it a fox? I don't know. And it was like barking. Like, wow. So nice to have that wildlife around you. I know you were
yeah,
scared, but I was like, wow. You remember that vlog that you did?
I do. I do.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah, it was a fox, and we have all types of stuff around here, and
Mm.
so for us, it's just stay out of the way. Stay out of harm's way. Stay out of harm's way, and make sure that you're not out. You're not outside unarmed, because
Yeah.
we have lots of stuff around here that may not even want to bother you, may not even
Yeah.
want to harm you. It's just that if you run into each other,
Yeah.
then there's that fight or flight
Yeah.
type of response that happens,
Mm.
with people and with animals. So,
Yes.
um,
Mm.
so yeah, we just try to make sure that we're always aware of our surroundings, and even it's amazing how they have patterns, and just like we have times that we set for ourselves that we're going to have breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever.
Mm. Mm.
They're kind of the same way. So you can kind of know when you're gonna see a bobcat, or when you're going to see the little bandits, I call them, the raccoons. You
Yeah.
kind of know when you're going to see those things moving around, when they're gonna be you're gonna catch them on camera or something like that.
Yeah.
So Brenda Allen said, different colors of flowers give me joy and peace. I have beautiful flowers also inside my home. I even sing to them.
Oh.
And and
See.
that's
Yeah.
a real thing. That is a
Beautiful.
real
It's
thing. I
beautiful, Brenda. I
Yeah,
agree.
yeah,
I think the flowers talk to me too. I also did a vlog about that, but I keep
yeah.
saying that.
I mean,
Gigi,
it's
I'm,
alive. They're alive, just like
yeah,
we're alive.
yeah. I want
Yeah.
to say I'm tired now, but
Okay.
you know I
Okay.
have that.
Yes.
And can I say to all the listeners that please, please try to slow down and live your best life. Live intentionally from the moment you wake up, when you pour your coffee, smell the smell, listen to the pouring, feel the taste. You go to work, everything that you do on your way home, feel the breeze in your face. Live in the moment. Enjoy your life. No matter how busy you are, there must be time in your day to grab life. Life is not only about work, 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 busy, 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 filling my agenda, running here, running there, quick to the grocery store. Life is not about that. Yes, we have to do those things, but we also have to take time to live. And I'm tired now.
That's okay. That's okay.
You
You
know,
should be tired at this
I
point.
just want to say to you guys, it's 9:23 in the night here by us, and I want to wish you guys a nice evening. And please, please put this message in your heart, especially women. And of course, the men also, because they're also extremely busy. Put this message in your heart that life is about living. Find a lifestyle that you like and live it. Live your lifestyle. And see you again soon, I hope.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you, Jane. And you
I
have a
appreciate it.
wonderful, restful evening, and we'll
Thank
talk
you.
again really soon, okay?
Okay. How do I
All
get
right.
out of here?
I'm going to remove you now. All right. Take
Okay.
care.
Love you
All right.
guys. Cheers.
All right. Love you
Cheers.
back. Bye. Cheers to you. All right, guys. That was Slow Living Jane. So if you have not subscribed to her channel, I love it. I absolutely love it. One of my favorite channels. I am going to be there for every video. So take the time to go over to Slow Living Jane and really get into her channel, really enjoy her channel. She's going to give you so many gems to go off of. And I love it when she gets into the politics of things. I absolutely love it and I'm always there for it. So thank you again, Jane, for coming in, and thank you to you all, G Tribe community, for coming in and supporting the live stream with Slow Living Jane today. So I will talk to you guys on the next video. And if you don't mind, if you don't mind, take the live stream and share it out to some people who may want to know how to get on this slow living journey, living their best and softest life as possible. So thank you so much again for being here. And remember, guys, prayer still works. So please do a lot of that. I'll talk to you guys later. Enjoy the Super Bowl. Bye, guys.